Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. So I have a video that's just going to be straight no nonsense on how the crypto industry lies to you, cheats you, and ultimately takes your money. Now, for those that have been watching my channel for a while, I'm not particularly fond on outright speculative investments. Although I've made videos about altcoins, meme coins, generally I make the disclaimer that I'm just pro Bitcoin in general and I don't recommend that people get involved in this stuff. For the most part, I recommend that people, their main goal should be to not lose money, right? If you have $4,000 invested in crypto, my goal for you isn't to make a 10x. My goal for you, bare minimum, is simply to keep your money, because that is the biggest impediment for people making it in this world. The biggest thing is that people lose money, and I just can't stand to see it. Now I want to talk about all the things that are preventing you from growing your wealth in the crypto world, and exactly what you need to do to avoid the many traps that you're falling into. Now, the first one that I want to talk about is the fact that practically every single person that you come across in the crypto universe, I'm talking the KOLs, I'm talking about the social media influencers on Telegram, on Twitter, on Discord, and especially YouTube, are bought and paid for. So you can go to different KOL social media marketing websites. This one here is called Bull Street Group, and you can find anybody you want. You've got this guy here, he's got 21k followers. You've got this guy here with 855x followers. You've got this guy 63k followers, 140, 293, and so on and so forth. And what you need to understand is that when a company wants to promote their crypto product, right? The main way of doing it is through social media influencers, and almost everyone that you can think of is available on these websites. And it's not that they'll necessarily take anybody that wants to do business with them, but the point is that they're open. And whenever you see one of these guys, let's just say you're following their channel, when you see them promote some token, right, they suddenly just make a video about this coin that they just organically found, and they suddenly were just so overwhelmed by how amazing the fundamentals were, and they just loved the community and the memes and the price action, and they're going, wow, like this coin has like 10x potential. Is it really because that coin has 10x potential, or was it because they were paid to talk about it and they get paid huge sums of money to promote a coin to their audience? Now, these influencers, if they were to be confronted about this, would say, well, they told me about this coin, I'm doing business with them, but at the end of the day, I really like the token. But that's the thing, you can't trust somebody with a vested interest, because they're getting paid to promote the coin regardless of whether it's good or bad. And I can guarantee they're going to like the coin a whole lot better if they're getting paid to promote it. So if the coin does bad, they win. If the coin does good, they still win. But you, as the audience watching their videos, you only win if the price of the coin goes up. And that is not likely the case, because what probably happens is that you are down on the bottom of the pecking order. So I was going to leave this for another point, but I might as well bring this up to you now to show you how the food chain works when it comes to crypto, right? So first, the people that eat first are the token founders. They're the ones that mint the tokens, and they have an allocation that's designed for them. Then you've got the VCs, right? They're the ones that then they get the access first to these tokens. Then you've got the angel investors. Then you've got the centralized exchanges, right? The centralized exchanges, when they list a token like Kekius Maximus, right? They didn't have to pay anything for those tokens. The founders of those tokens gave those tokens essentially for free to those exchanges, because they're getting promotion for that. Then you've got market makers. Then you've got the Twitter KOLs, Telegram callers, YouTubers, CT traders, I'll get into that later, and then you've got retail exit liquidity. And who is the retail exit liquidity? Well, that's the people watching the videos of these channels. The people that are watching the videos of the people in these channels are the bottom feeders. These are the things that are on the bottom of the ocean floor, sucking up the debris and the filth from other more advanced oceanic creatures. And as retail, you're on the bottom just scooping up the poop and the rotting carcasses of like other animals, like crustaceans and stuff like that. That is you when you watch these videos and you get your alpha from these people, and they don't care about you and they're dumping on you, right? Now, that's one way in which they dump on you. They get paid by these marketing agencies. That's one way. But the second way is they might not be on this website. But if you see the videos of them suddenly talking about some amazing crypto project that may or may not 10x in the matter of days or weeks or whatever, those guys, they own all these coins. They've already stored them, they're already hodling them, and then they're going to shill them to their audience, say, oh wow, I've got the best token. And what do you think everyone's going to do? They're going to buy that token because it's endorsed by this social media influencer. The price of the token goes up, and then the cherry on top is when the social media influencer says, wow, look at my prediction, exactly as I predicted, right? They're gonna be like, oh, do you remember, like, I shilled this coin to you when it was $10 million market cap, now it's 200 million, and you know what happens after that? The price dumps, and then he gets to say, well, you know, I predicted this. You know, you should have bought it when I said, you should have listened to me. You should have listened to when I shilled, right? And then people are gonna repeat the cycle, right? There's who's that guy, Becker, Charles Becker, something Becker, I forget his name, and he always makes these videos about how he predicted all these coins, right? This guy has like 3 million subs on YouTube. He promotes a coin, he's like, oh wow, look, here's this good coin at 10 mil market cap, right? He buys it, and then of course, because he's promoting it, everyone buys it after that. It goes 30x, and then he'll make a video like 2-3 months later, like, remember this coin? Well, if you listened to me, you could have gotten 30x and made $1 million, right? It's very skeevy. I don't like it, and they all do it. So do not listen to anybody, right? Everybody is paid, and you got to avoid them, right? I want to give just a few more examples. Here's a list of all these KOL farms, and they are all linked to various KOLs on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, every social media platform that you can think of. Now, number 2 is the fact that crypto exchanges are essentially gambling platforms. These are the new casinos. I consider them casinos for Generation Z in particular. I think there are a lot of people now that have straight up gambling addictions, not because of sports betting or slot machines, but because of crypto gambling. And I blame the exchanges for that and their relationship with KOLs. So I'm looking at Mexi. Mexi is a platform that I even shilled yesterday, you know, because I was making a video about exchanges that have the lowest spot fees, the lowest withdrawal fees. Mexi is like number 1. I actually really like Mexi for that reason alone. But what do you notice that's interesting, germane to the conversation that we're having now in regards to shilling random crap? Well, if you look at the top right, you see here Kekius. Now, what on earth is Kekius? Kekius, also known as Kekius Maximus, is a meme coin that was created maybe 5 days ago, 7 days ago, all because of, you know, Elon Musk. He changed his Twitter handle to the frog Pepe, also known as Kek. Anyway, Kekius Maximus, it's hilarious, right? I'm just in stitches right now. Anyway, it's a meme coin, and within just 7 days, you've got exchanges like Mexi already promoting it. Like, this is a search bar, and it's kind of like an auto prompt, like auto suggesting, like, I'm thinking, you know what am I going to invest today, right? And then there's kind of like this is almost acting as like a subliminal message, like, you want Kekius, buy Kekius now. And I'm like, you know what, I was going to buy some Bitcoin, but actually I'll buy Kekius. I know it's being a bit flippant about it, but generally speaking, they have a vested interest in you buying the dirtiest of dirtiest crap. The more money you lose, the more money they make. And I'll tell you how it works, right? So like a casino, the house always wins. If you were to buy Bitcoin, a stable, good investment, the best cryptocurrency that exists, what's going to happen on Mexi, right? So they make 0.5% in fees. If you buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and you withdraw it from the platform into cold storage, never to be seen again, never to see the light of day again, Mexi makes $5 on that deal, right? It's not a whole lot of money. So what would be better is if you buy some other speculative token that you're not going to hodl forever. The shorter the amount of time that you hold it, the better, because then they'll make more in fees. So let's just say you buy Kekius Maximus, right? And let's just say your dreams come true, you rub the genie lamp and it goes up 10x. Fantastic, right? You're not going to keep it in Kekius. You're going to sell it for USDT, right? Because that's the only real trading pair. So then they make more fees when you trade it back into USDT, right? And then from USDT, you could go into Bitcoin, take your winnings, take it off the platform, and then good, right? So that's an okay scenario for them. But what would be even better is if you didn't go into Bitcoin and then you went into some some tech altcoin, like you got into Sui, or you got into Aptos, or you got into some other coin, right? And I'm not really dragging the name of these coins through the mud, but I'm bringing the point about the fact that if you're investing in coins that are not extremely long-term, like Bitcoin is the only one you can hold for like years. Like who knows what's going to happen with Sui and Aptos and like whatever other tech altcoins that exist, right? You don't know. I mean, you're probably not going to hold them for the end of this cycle. Like all the people that are hodling Sui right now, just for example, you're not going to hold it for a year, right? Like when the bear market comes around, you'll drop that stuff like a hot potato. So MEXC benefits off this because when you sell it and then you're going to go into another thing, you know, they make fees, and then you're going to go into another thing and you go fees. The only thing they can't really make money from is Bitcoin, because people that just are straight up Bitcoin maxis buy and hold it, they take it off the exchange. They can't really make money off that. So when you go to any exchange, look at like the on the top page, what do they want you to do? Look at this. So on the right, top gainers, you can get BTG, VexT, PBUX. What is this garbage? It's all garbage. ARK, Flock, Fuel, and I know I'm gonna get someone in the comments like, no, I put all my life savings in Flock. Like, I know it's going to the moon, you're just a hater, right? Like, this is what they want you to do. They want you to believe that you're going to be one of the few people that is gonna make millions of dollars off this stuff. Now, because I don't really want to log on, because I don't want to dox myself, but if I log on, or if you can see this for yourself, if you go into Bybit, there's all these deals to go and buy random coins. They've got so many different things you can do. It's all the exchanges. Just take my word for it. Like, they want you to buy as much crap as possible. Now, number 3, and this is relating to the fact that cryptocurrency exchanges are in fact the new casinos, is the fact that leverage trading, or most popular of which is futures contracts, also known as inverse perpetual swaps, are so popular now. Now, to engage in these kinds of financial products in the past, usually you would have to be very well versed in it. You'd have to have some kind of exposure to the finance industry. You'd have to know a lot about this stuff. Like, this stuff isn't child's play, but I would say that inverse perpetual swaps has been the average person's gateway into financial degeneracy, where this stuff was usually reserved for people in Wall Street and working in, high-level finance positions. Now everybody has access to it, and this became particularly popular during the last bull cycle because of certain crypto influencers who promoted this stuff night and day, and it was a very terrible thing. And this again goes back to the relationship between exchanges and crypto influencers. What they had done is that on every video, they'll talk about, crypto might go up, it might go down. The inverted triangle says it's like a 60% chance that it's going to go down, whatever. And at the end, they'll say, you can use my referral link to go to Bybit and you can trade with leverage. Now, they're a little more cagey about it these days. They don't directly tell you anymore because they know the damage it causes. So they'll say, only do it if you know what you're doing, or only do it, as long as you set a stop loss, right? And they won't outright say just gamble all your money, right? But the reality is they're promoting it, and they make money when people get involved in this stuff, and they make money whether people win or lose. And the vast majority of people lose. The exchange wins, the KOLs win, but the average audience that listen to the advice of these KOLs, they lose. Now, I want to give you a bit of a rundown about how leverage trading works. So the thing is, with leverage trading, what you do is you have the ability to essentially borrow money. I'm going to take away some of the more technical terms just to break it down and make it easy as possible. So instead of saying the word leverage, I'm going to say borrow. You go into debt to the exchange, who is essentially loaning you money. Now, with that money, you have to put in collateral. Now, the collateral comes in the form of crypto. So let's just say you've got 1 Bitcoin and you use that as collateral. And with that, Bybit or whatever exchange will allow you to trade with more money than you have. You can now trade with, say, 5x, so you'll have the ability to trade with 5 Bitcoin, 6 Bitcoin, 7 Bitcoin. And the higher the price goes up, the more exposure you have to the upswing and the more money that you can make. But what happens if it goes down? Well, the more money that you borrow, the higher the chance that you're going to lose your collateral, right? So there's something called the liquidation point, which means that if the price were to go down a certain point, then you're going to lose your collateral. And the more money you borrow, the higher the chance that you're going to lose your collateral in this liquidation thing that happens. So what happens is that everyone in this derivatives market, this market here, they're essentially trading against each other, right? The shorts are at war with the longs, and the longs are at war with the shorts. And not everybody can win this game all the time. The only way you can win is if a sufficient amount of people lose. It's a game of musical chairs, right? So the way that you win is that you have to be faster than everyone else. You have to time the bottom of the market faster than everyone else, quickly get your long, and you have to sell faster than everyone else, ideally as close to the top as you can. But not everybody can do that. So if I sell at the very top, the price is going to go down. So the opportunity for someone else to get the top is gone, right? But someone else can still be the second fastest. And then when they sell, they'll make profit, not as much as I did, but they'll make profit. Then the price goes down further, right? So then there's only an opportunity after that for someone to be third, right? Then fourth, fifth, sixth, and then get to a point where nobody who made the same position as you when they bought can have a profitable return, right? So they're going to have to be at a loss. This is a game of PvP. You have to understand when you get into a market like this, or frankly, any of the other markets like meme coins, altcoins, but especially in this leveraged arena, you are at a table playing poker with other people, and when you win a hand, that money, the money that's in the pot doesn't just apparate out of thin air and you win that for yourself. That comes out of somebody else's pocket. And the chances are as well, let's just say you're okay with that. You're okay with the moral quandary of winning in a zero-sum game environment. Let's just say you're okay with that. Well, I want to be realistic with you. The chances that you're going to beat the other people at the table are very, very low. Now, you might win one hand, but the chances you're going to win in the long run are zero. Now, I'll tell you why. For those that know how poker works, right? Imagine you're at a poker table, right? The buy-in is 5K, and you've only got 5K on you, right? That's your entire net worth. And you put 5K on the table, and you're looking around the other players, the other 7 players. You've got one guy with like $1 million on the table. You've got another guy with like $700,000 on the table. And you're versing these guys because they've got a larger stack than you. They've got more leverage. They can do more things. They have ways to... you can't really bluff them out. They'll call every bluff that you have, right? Even if you're really tight, it won't really matter in the long run. So the thing is, your ability to stay during the course of that game is basically gone because they've got like infinite buy-ins, right? Like let's just say they lose whatever stack they have on the table, they made some bad moves, they can just re-buy in. You, on the other hand, once you're out for good. Now that's one example, but there's also the fact that these guys have information that you don't. So I make this example, right? I remember that I was speaking with a very successful trader, but he wasn't some guy that watched some YouTube videos. He didn't look at the latest crypto video and get some technical analysis. This is a guy that went to like a top school in China, worked at top trading firms for over 10 years, started his own investment company. And then I asked him how much money he makes. The guy's clearly a millionaire. And I asked him how much money he makes. He's like, oh, I do pretty good. I make like 8% a year. I'm like, on inverse perpetual swaps. Like, yeah. Right, so this is a guy that has access to going 10x, doing crazy trades. Even for him, making 8% a year is really good. And that's what happens when you're at these higher levels. You're acting in a particular way. And you know what he also has access to, right? like advanced artificial intelligence algorithms, programs that he wrote himself. He's got access to programs that he commissioned by other people and spends tens of thousands of dollars on legacy software to be able to get a slight edge on the market. In Wall Street, one trading firm might have the ability to close down an entire street just to rip up the fiber optic cables and replace it with a slightly more efficient fiber optic cable, so their trading is just like 0.01 millisecond faster than a trading firm down the road or in like South Korea or Singapore, right? When you're dealing with people with such a large stack, the advantages they have over you are so overwhelming. It's like an ant fighting a lion, and you might get lucky one time, but the longer you play this game, the higher the chance you're going to lose in the long run. And at the end of the day, you know who wins? The house. The Bybit, the exchanges, the KOLs, they win no matter what, because the KOLs, they get a commission for every time that you make a trade, whether that's spot or derivatives. Now, they want you to trade with leverage and have the highest chance of losing all your money, because if they trade with, let's just say you trade with leverage, let's say you've got one Bitcoin, then you lever up to 10x. There are so many fees associated with borrowing that money. There's something called the funding rate, where every couple of hours you basically have to pay like 0.8%, something like that, of your entire position every couple of hours, and that comes out of your collateral, and that's money that ends up going to the exchange and to the KOL. And it doesn't matter whether you win in that position or lose, the KOLs and the exchange makes huge amounts of money from your, what I can only describe as a gambling addiction. Basically, very few people do well at this, and it's like 1% of the market that successfully does this in the long term, and they're playing a completely different game to the people watching these videos of the moon and then crypto, all these like TA monkeys going on about how like the double triangle, you know, double top tier and the head and shoulders. Like, people watching those videos are getting scalped by people higher up in the food chain, and it's very sad to see. So that is bad. Never get involved in leverage trading. It's the same advice as never going into debt and never going to the casino. Like, if you believe in both of those rules, you'll take my advice and never trade with leverage, ever, ever, ever. Now, the next one is that altcoins are basically a Ponzi scheme scam. And I know everyone hates that I say that, but I need to break it down to you and explain why you're going to be losing money in the long run, right? We need to talk about the tokenomics of these altcoins. Now, I know there are altcoins where that's not the case. There are ones that have had very fair releases, and I can talk about those very briefly. Like old coins, like Monero, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, whatever. Like, I'm not shilling for those. I'm just saying that like the really old ones were very fair, but especially ones that came out post 2017, 2021. I'm going to bring this up to you again. I showed you this before, but this is important to show you exactly who benefits in this arrangement, right? So have a read. Who goes first, right? So there's going to be a percentage of tokens that are allocated to the token founders, right? Because they need to have those tokens, and they're going to sell them to pay for contractors, freelancers, website design, marketing, right? Stuff like that. So imagine they get 20% of all the tokens so they can make the dream happen. Well, that sounds fair enough, right? But then there are VCs, right? So let's assume they're out in Silicon Valley. There's a good network for VCs. VCs, they can smell money from a mile away, and they find these guys who are in their garage or the mum's basement. They go to them and say, here's $1 million. Just, you know, throw me a percentage of tokens, like when it's released, right? So this is even before the token has released. They're already making these deals. So let's just say VCs get 10%. Then the angel investors are bigger, like individuals, maybe like Peter Thiel comes to them. Here's another $1 million for like, you know, give me like 5-10% allocation. Then the centralized exchanges. Now, I know I already mentioned this, but I might as well mention it again. How is it that MEXC, like within 7 days, starts promoting something like Hekius Maximus? Do you think that centralized exchanges like MEXC bought millions, maybe tens of millions of dollars of some shitcoin to promote on their website? Now, if they did, wouldn't the price just dramatically go up when they make that arrangement? No, because they get that token for free. So like maybe 5 to 10% of the allocation is just given for free to centralized exchanges. Sometimes, like, this is like if it's a piece of crap token, right? Like if it's maybe like more well-known one, maybe a big tech one, probably it's not free. But if this is pre-release, then there's a chance that your centralized exchanges are at least getting it for like at a huge discount, and they are essentially promoting these tokens, right? It's kind of like a marketing ploy. Then you've got market makers. Then you've got Twitter KOLs, we mentioned that. We've got Telegram callers. These are all the different groups that are saying, okay, guys, I'm buying like Kekis Maximus at 0.5% because of the triangle, the upward descending triangle on the 4-hourly chart. It's going up to this price, and then all those people follow in. The YouTubers, CT traders, so these people are the people like they're doing the derivatives trading that I was talking to you about earlier. They're trading inverse perpetual swaps. They're smart. They know what to do. They're scalping it, right? They're not holding. They're just scalping it. And all of these people just gangbang retail exit liquidity. And by the time that people buy in to like the next like layer one token like Sui or like AVAX or Polygon or whatever, they just get dumped on. Or it might not be that they get dumped on, because maybe there's enough retail volume that offsets all the selling action. But what you may find is that like these tokens, their ability to do a 10x is gone. Their ability to do a 20x is gone. Like these big tokens, like I'm sure you notice like there'll be tokens that like you've never seen them before or heard of them before. Then they'll pop up on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and they'll just suddenly have like $5 billion. And like, or like Hyperliquid is a good example. Like the moment you saw it pop up on CoinMarketCap, it didn't go from $0. So it didn't go from a market cap of like 0 to 3 bill, sorry. It was just immediately a 3 bill. Why was it immediately a 3 bill? Because everybody took their turns just gangbanging this thing, from the token founders to the scalpers. Everyone had their go at it, and you're getting cucked by these guys. And that's really why I have such a problem with people getting into altcoins, because they don't realize that they're essentially in a rigged game. And this is why I've made the argument that like you should just get into the fairest cryptocurrency of all, which is Bitcoin. If you go into Bitcoin, you're not going to have to worry about this. In the video that I made here, this is a while back, this is about why meme coins will outperform everything. The jury is not out on that, but I was just kind of flippantly making the point that even meme coins are more fair than a lot of these tech coins, because meme coins tend to be very community driven. They organically emerge out of the fore from like various places like Discord, Telegram, 4chan, whatever. And the memes are a little bit funny, at least, right? Like that at least has some utility. A lot of this vaporware is not really going to go anywhere. So yeah. Now, the very last point that I want to make is it's not directly about anyone lying to you. We'll say it's an indirect conspiracy, right? So a conspiracy, not necessarily of like everyone's secretly a lizard, but everyone just happens to be a lizard, right? It's just kind of coincidental. And that is that everyone from the KOLs to crypto exchanges, everyone in the industry has you in a trance that you're going to become a millionaire in crypto, that you're going to make it, that all your dreams are going to come true. And I'm not here to tell you that that's not going to happen. I believe it can happen. But I also want to make another point, just as someone that's been in this space for a very long time, and that's that the only people that I've known to sustainably be very wealthy in the crypto space are Bitcoin maxis who have been in the game for 5 to 10 years, usually towards the 10-year side. Right? Now, that's an uncomfortable truth, because I think everyone's been made to believe that if they just get into the next shitcoin, the next pump and dump thing, that they're going to be able to skip the process of slowly building wealth over time, which, by the way, becoming extremely wealthy in Bitcoin is actually very quick. 5 to 10 years to potentially make $1 million is a very optimistic outlook, but everybody wants to get in much faster, and I get it. The young generation are all demoralized, and they don't want to have to, they don't believe in anything anymore. I think we're a hyper cynical generation, and even when presented with the prospect of just buying and holding Bitcoin, DCAing over time, putting it to cold storage, not checking the price every second, doing this is just not sexy compared to the promise of what everyone is selling, right? The guy with on the KOL on YouTube with a thumbnail of him in front of a Lamborghini, showing his phone, showing like the price of some crypto thing that he speculated in going up. That's what sells. And I want to I want to implore you to avoid the lure of quick riches, because that's ultimately what's going to ruin you. And to bring it back to what my point before was, my aim for you is that, let's just say you've only got 5k in crypto. My aim for you is not to 10x that crypto. My aim is for you, number one, to just keep that 5k. That's the most important thing, because most people can't even hold on to that. Now guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. If you like this no nonsense rant, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you do want a sustainable way of getting into crypto, buying crypto without KYC, and you want to make money in crypto, you can sign up with my referral link in the description down below for various peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges like Local CoinSwap, like HODL. These are exchanges that you can use to buy Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum without KYC, and you can also sell your Bitcoin above market rate by selling it to people who want to buy cryptocurrency without KYC. So there's a bunch of people that want to get crypto, but they don't want to go into an exchange and give their KYC. If you're offering a service that allows people to buy crypto without KYC, they'll buy it for you above market rate. And I think that's just a very sane business. There's no crypto degeneracy in this. There's no gambling. It's just you simply selling a product for something to somebody that someone else wants. So guys, if you like that, make sure to check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.